Marvin. It's Anastasia. It's tea time over here.
Okay, how's it going?
It's takeaway time. I'm going to have to join later because I'm eating. I've
Okay,
got the I've got the invitation. Don't worry, I can get in with that.
okay, that's fine. We'll see you in a bit then.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Okie doke.
Bye.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started as we wait for people to come in. I want to welcome everyone to the Fellowship of Mental Health Hangout for June 13th, 2015. Uh, we're going to be talking about DID, social anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, and anything else related to mental health or whatever. Uh, as I always do, I'll go over the housekeeping details. You're coming into the YouTube page, and I think that link works. I ask that you mute your YouTube page or whatever. We ask that you keep your comments PG because this will be archived to YouTube for time immemorial. We ask that you stick with I statements. If you stick with the I statements, we find that you don't get yourself into so much trouble because the reason for the I statements is that we don't do therapy, judgment, but we do show each other lots and lots of respect. So, anything else? Okay, and just looking around, there are lots and lots of mental health hangouts going on in the YouTube universe or whatever. So, check some of the other ones out or whatever. Glad to see Joy back on Thursday night. I was not able to join his hangout. He called an audible and put together a hangout rather quick, and I was not quick enough to join in. So, but I'm glad to see he's well. I'm glad to see he's back in the hangouts or whatever. And I think he has decided to do hangouts perhaps once a week, and maybe Thursday night will be his night for the hangout. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll join us later on, and we'll get some better details from himself. So I really don't have a topic today. I've asked that everyone would bring something that they would like to discuss or whatever, but I think the topic that I want to bring is your favorite poem or whatever. And this week we lost one of the great actors of the horror genre, uh, Christopher. Let me look that up. Christopher Lee. The name slipped my mind for a moment or whatever, and he did a poem called uh, "The Raven." And as I'm waiting for people to join in, I may just go ahead and screen share that or whatever if I can do that. Uh,
Upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of cotton lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. God, alas, nothing. Distinctly, I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought ghost upon the floor. sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow, lost, for the rare and radiant paper the angels named, nameless here, rivermore, and the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and presently my soul grew stronger. Hesitating then no longer, sir, said I, madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. The fact is I was napping. So gently you came rapping, so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened the wide door. Darkness, nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Nearly this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard tapping, somewhat louder. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window latches. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. Just the wind, and nothing more. Open here, I flung the shutter, when many a flirt and flutter. In there stepped the stately raven, the saintly days of yore. From the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with me, Lord, lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy, smiling, when the rains turned decorum, the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no raven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Put the raven nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy more. We cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further then he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered. Still I scarcely more muttered. useless, said I. What it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast, and followed faster, till his songs one burden, till the dirges of his hope, and melancholy burden more, never, never more. The raven, still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet seat I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird would know, what this grim, ungainly, once ominous bird of your meant, croaking evermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl, whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet violet lining, and the lamplight gloating o'er. But whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating, she shall rest. But the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen senseless perspective. God hath left thee. By these angels he has sent thee respite and nepenthe from thy memories of and of. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and must and all. Evermore. Hear me, evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, with a tempter sent, desolate, all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home my horror wanted. Tell me if truly I am flawed. Is there balm in Gilead? Tell me I am flawed. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aiden it shall clasp the sainted maiden, the angel's name. Lenore, clasp the rare radiant maiden, the angel's name. No, quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend. I shrieked, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quick to pass above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take
Hello?
thy paws off my door.
Welcome, Jake. We're listening to the Raven by Edgar Allan Poe.
Ah,
It has about 2 minutes left, I think.
Raven, ever flitting, still listen. Still is sitting on the padded bust of Pallas, just above my chin. And his eyes, all the seeming of a demon's dream. The left light mind streaming, was his shadow on the floor. shadow that lies floating shall
Um,
Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can get organized here. Okay, that was Edgar Allan Poe's poem "The Raven," read by the late, sad to say, Christopher Lee or whatever. That's one of my favorite versions of that. And so I want to welcome the people who have joined and are watching via YouTube or whatever. So that was just long enough to get me organized, I think. So welcome everybody.
I only just got in because I just finished my tea. So.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Chance just joined us a minute ago as well. So yeah, the topic that I brought was what is your favorite poem or whatever, and I just shared one of my favorite poems, Edgar Allan Poe's "The Raven." So
I don't have a particular favorite
No.
poem, but I love Sylvia Plath.
okay, I'm not very familiar with her. Would, would I recognize one of her poems?
I'm not sure, she's not very popular,
No.
but
What the hell?
you probably
What
hear
the
the
heck?
sirens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
They're fading quickly.
okay. Okay.
I have
What's
a
going
fire
on?
station down from my house.
Well, that's
So-
I guess that's good and bad. If you ever have a fire, you know they'll be right there. Huh?
Well, the couple of times that I've had to call an ambulance for my mom,
Yeah.
they've gotten here within 5 minutes.
Wow. Wow, that is great. So you were telling us about Sylvia Plath. The name sounds familiar.
Most of her stuff is depressed
Okay.
writing. Most of her stuff she wrote, I think, when she was around 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I believe she committed suicide.
Ooh.
Did she?
I believe she did.
Okay.
I've got several books, like a biography and the complete collection of her poems, but I haven't read them yet.
Okay.
I'm working on a book on self-injury right now, so
Okay.
I think the Sylvia Plath stuff will be my next
Okay.
project.
Well, she sounds like her and Edgar Allan Poe would get along well, because most of his
Yeah.
poetry, Annabel Lee, The Raven, most of his poetry was rather depressing or whatever. And
Which poem by Edgar Allan Poe is the one with the heart under the floor?
The Telltale Heart. I'm not sure if that was a poem or a short story or whatever.
But I really liked that one by
Yeah,
Edgar
yeah.
Allan Poe.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite
Yeah.
authors from when I was a kid. Anastasia, do you have a favorite poem? A favorite poet?
I like William Wordsworth's Daffodils.
Okay.
I think I've actually read that one.
There again, that's something that I'm not very
My
familiar with.
friend, it was read at my friend's funeral, the one who died of cancer, and it made me really upset, but it reminds me of a friend.
Hmm. Can you tell us what it's about?
It's about a flower. It's about cancer,
Okay.
but it's because the daffodil is the flower that symbol is in memory of is the symbol for cancer.
Okay. So it's a rather recent poem, I'm guessing.
No, 19. I don't know what year, but
Okay, okay. It kind of reminds me. There's a poem from World War One, and I can't remember all of it, but one of the lines is like, "Do not look for me here, because I'm not here. I've gone somewhere else," or whatever. It's a very very beautiful poem or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, any other thoughts on poetry, depressing or otherwise? I also like,
I like to write poetry.
yeah.
I do too.
I haven't written anything recently. I've been wanting to, but I'm kind of experiencing writer's block a little bit.
I like to write songs.
Yeah, yeah, which is to me is a type of poetry. I think some of the
Yeah.
song lyrics can do for poetry.
I
And
recently wrote a song that upset my mum and my sister, and I find it really bad, but
hmm,
yeah,
mhm.
about my neutrality because they're having a hard time not accepting my gender neutrality and stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I've noticed
Yeah.
that Miko has been posting some poems on Google Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he'll join us later on.
Yeah.
I did a group invite. Do y'all know if a group invite works the same way as an individual invite?
I didn't get a group invite. I tried clicking the link
I
from
don't know.
the email of the live feed,
Yeah.
and when I clicked that link, it said you're not authorized to join this video call.
Really?
But when I went to Google Plus and found the actual Hangout and used
Yeah.
the link from there, I was able to get in.
Okay, that is really weird because
That's
normally
really odd.
normally we don't have a problem with that or whatever. So
Yeah.
because I in no way haven't. I mean, I don't have anything authorized or unauthorized or whatever.
Yeah, I
That's
think
really
it said
odd.
you were not authorized to start this video call.
Huh.
I think is what it said.
Okay. Well, maybe that was just in the beginning or whatever. But I'll keep checking. If we have some more problems with it, I'll just have to repost it or whatever. But I haven't done anything as far as authorization or non-authorization or whatever.
Yeah, most of your Hangouts are completely open, right? You can just click the
Right,
link and
right,
get in.
right.
Yeah.
And I want them to stay that way for the foreseeable future because I do have some. I mean, I can mute somebody, I can throw them out of the Hangout, and as the last resort, I can block them or whatever. But so I have some tools within the Hangout that I can use or whatever without having to restrict people. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you want everyone who wants to come to be able to come.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's exactly right, and that's my personal choice, and it's a choice I don't push on other people. I understand we've had some problems with the Hangouts or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
I myself got kicked out of a Hangout this week.
What'd you do?
Why?
I was just myself. There's a young man in England. I won't embarrass him by sharing his name or whatever, but he's doing 2 social anxiety hangouts a week or whatever. And I thought, well, I'll give him some support or whatever. So I joined his hangout, and you know me, I just started talking about whatever I wanted to talk about, and then he did not throw me out, which is real nice. What he did was he left the hangout and started another hangout or whatever.
Huh.
And then when I tried to get into that hangout, that's when I discovered that I had been blocked or whatever. And
Oh my god.
but anyway, I was thinking about it, and I don't know that much about social anxiety. I'm still learning about all these things, and I was shy.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, the difference between being shy and being having social anxiety is that shy people can push themselves to do things, and social anxiety is just not possible. I mean,
Yeah.
they just completely shut down. It's like a phobia or whatever. And
Yeah.
anyway, he posted a very, very nice video the next day explaining why I had triggered his social anxiety or whatever, and I gave him a nice comment back. But in thinking about it, I was, you know, just imagine a theater group and they're putting on their first play, okay, and then someone
Yeah.
from the audience stands up, marches to the front of the stage, and says, "Let me show you how to put on a play." You know,
Yeah.
of course that would not be welcome, and so now what I'm
No.
trying to figure out now what I'm trying to figure out is how do I support these guys, because I really do want to be supportive. You know, how do I support them without being intimidating or whatever? And
Yeah.
I don't think of myself as being intimidating, but to a person with social anxiety, evidently I am or whatever, and the judgment would clearly rest with that individual or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but he's still going to be doing his 2 hangouts a week or whatever, and I wish him the best, and I'm going to try to figure out a way of supporting him in a non-threatening manner, if that's possible. So that was my fun for the week or whatever. So, Chance, you were in Joey's hangout Thursday night, right?
No,
I wasn't.
I managed to overcome my anxiety and hang out with people.
Oh, okay, good deal. I watched that. He only had like an hour. That was live broadcast or whatever, and I watched it, and it's just he's doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Is he?
Here,
Yeah,
I gotta step away for a minute. The neighbor's cat came a little farther than he's supposed to.
Okay, take care of the neighbor's cat.
So did you watch Joey's hangout then?
Yes, I did. He only did an hour on YouTube or whatever, and then the second hour was off camera or whatever, and that's because he brought in a new person or whatever, and I think he wanted to give her some private time or whatever to where she could, you know, her comments wouldn't be broadcast or whatever. So
Yeah.
but he's doing quite well. You know, he's in I believe he's in Minnesota now or whatever. So
Yeah, he is.
yeah, and I don't know.
He is in Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how long that's going to be or whatever. I don't know if he's on a vacation or what
Whether
have
it's
you.
permanent.
Yeah, but anyway, he's doing quite well. He's been to the Mall of America. He's done some hiking or whatever. So he's doing very, very well. So I'm glad to see him
that's
doing
good
well.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in my time zone now. So he's in the central time zone of the USA. So.
Yay.
Mhm.
So if I wanted to join a hangout, then it wouldn't affect me then. The time.
No, it shouldn't. I think he's going to try to keep his hangouts the same time or whatever, which would be probably too late for you. I think his hangouts generally start about 8 p.m. Or maybe it's 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. my
9
time
p.m.
or whatever.
Eastern time. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be this 1 p.m. 1 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's too late for me then.
Yeah.
That's too
But
late for me.
I've noticed that there are a couple of hangouts, mental health hangouts, going on in the UK or whatever. So.
Are they?
Yeah, primarily for social anxiety or whatever. So I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in or whatever. So
Maybe, because I do have that problem.
yeah, Jamal Williams is one, and he's taking a break right now. But there's a girl that does one. I can't remember her name, but there's a girl that does one, and then there may be one or two others or whatever. So
Dale Channel, yeah, I know about Dale Channel.
Yeah, he does one or two as well. So and so.
I feel pretty sick at the moment.
Really? Did Did something you eat disagree with you?
No, I've been having problems with an argument that I had earlier on today with my sister and stuff.
Okay. Welcome, Miko. We were just kind of
You're
talking
welcome.
about poetry and stuff, and were you in Joy's Hangout Thursday night? Yeah. Okay. I'm glad to see. We were just talking about how well he's doing.
Yeah,
Moving halfway across the country, what have you. So he seems to be doing okay. So uh, Chance is with us as well. She's the neighbor's cat. Evidently has overstepped
the
his
boundary.
his territory or whatever. So she's having to take care of that. So she'll be back with us in a minute. How's the weather been in the UK? Is it still pleasant?
It's been sunny, yeah.
Okay. We're getting a little rain here in Texas today, but nothing like last month or whatever. It's just
Yay!
some light rain, and
Nothing like
Miko
last
says
month then.
yeah, and Miko says he's getting some rain as well in Oklahoma. So yeah, it's good to have a little rain every once in a while, especially in the summertime. And we get into
Yeah.
August. Yeah, we get very, very dry here around August. So, and we're still in the middle of the hurricane season as well. So, or
Yeah.
I should say the beginning. I think I heard this point that there's something trying to develop in the Gulf. If it actually develops in the Gulf, that's not really a bad thing because it doesn't have a chance to get very
No.
strong. So, if it develops in the Atlantic, then that's more worrisome.
Then that's a
whatever.
worry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I'm glad everybody's doing okay. I'm sorry you're not
Then
feeling
life
too
won't
well.
be a pile of stuff.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour is here with us, Joey.
Yay!
Welcome back, Joey.
Hello, everybody. Got Joey.
Welcome back, Joey.
Oh, and you've got your co-host trainee right next to you. That's
Not
great.
a co-host trainee. We
Come on.
Yay!
She can co-host one time.
Yay!
She can sit with
Yay.
you one time a month.
I don't know.
That-
We would make horrible co-hosts, I think.
Last time on the Thursday
Yay.
was she was in a room and then she went downstairs. She had to go through Joey's.
Well,
Indeed.
they're not used to being in the same room, and I don't know if that was a joke or a wish, but we had talked about that once before, gathering us all together in the same
Yes.
place. And
We talked about that I don't know how many times.
Slowly
oh
happening.
my gosh, oh my gosh.
We're talking
Well,
about like how Ollie would be just that normal person.
Yo,
Yeah.
we literally have been just chilling, talking every night.
Yeah.
till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. As soon as she gets home from work, we just sit here and all we do is talk for hours and hours.
Wow.
How's it going while you are, Joey?
Oh, I'm so I am Joey. That's the best part. I feel alive finally. For the first time in all these years, I feel alive.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now, have you decided? Is your move long term or short term or?
Permanent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Permanent?
as much as I want to go back home, I already let them know that I wasn't going back home.
Yeah.
This has been in the last week just everything's made more sense in the last week than being trapped in that attic.
Yeah.
And I know
Well,
that sounds crazy to everybody else because I just picked up. I know other people, like my family and all, feel like I just left and abandoned them, but they have no idea that they weren't my family. Not like they think,
Yeah.
I
Well,
love my boys. I always love my boys. I don't want it to seem like that. No, they'll always be my boys. But they got their mom. They're safe and everything, and I wasn't doing anything for them anyway. They're still getting the money. I'm not touching that, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And doing all right. I mean, literally, everything just seems to be
Mhm.
coming together. And if there was ever such a thing as integration, like they try to say, which I
yeah,
don't believe in, this is as close as you could get.
yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes you got to make a healthy decision for yourself or whatever, and sometimes getting away from the problem gives you some perspective. I took a trip to California, not really on a whim. I'd planned it for months and months and months, and with the idea of moving to California or whatever. Then when I got out there, I realized it was not going to be possible, because of the economic situation and the housing situation and everything out there or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Right.
I had my church lined up, and the people at the church were saying, we want to take your class when you get a class developed. We want you to speak to us or whatever, and you know, and it's a small little church that has like maybe 4 or 5 ministers, and they were all rotating or whatever, and so I could have been a part of that, but it just was not. I couldn't swing it
No.
financially or whatever. But having said that, the trip gave me so much perspective or whatever, knowing that there's other ways of doing things out there than the way I've been doing things here in Texas or whatever. So
Right. Well, that's what it is. We stepped out. We stepped out. We jumped and took that chance. You know, most people don't. They don't get it that chance. They're always stuck where they are. You know, and that's where they are. And it's so safe and so normal that it's so scary to actually leave and you know take a new
yeah,
change in life. To totally actually say that that what I'm living isn't my life, and I have to go find it. You
yeah,
know, a lot of
But
people.
you've done it. You've done it. You've accomplished something.
Yeah,
hmm
You've,
I
you've
really have. I found, I'm finding myself, and I couldn't do that in the atmosphere I was in because I was being told who I was.
exactly.
Joy. Joy, the question of the day, the question we were discussing before you joined us, I actually showed, we lost Christopher Lee this week, the great horror actor or whatever, and from my childhood or whatever, and so I played The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. I played Christopher Lee's rendition of it, and we were waiting for people to join in or whatever. But anyway, all of that to ask you, do you have a favorite poem?
Oh, wow. Poem.
Oh.
No, because the only thing I can remember is uh, "Don't go gentle into that quiet night,
Oh
white
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sun."
Yeah, I remember that. Gosh, English poet or whatever. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine or whatever. I think.
Rage
Dylan,
Yeah.
into the dying light.
yeah, Dylan Thomas. Is that his name? Dylan
I don't know.
Thomas?
I just remember
Yeah.
that's the only thing
Yeah.
that it's the only thing that's coming in here where I'm trying to think. It's the only thing
Yeah.
that's
I remember it. Yeah.
itself. It's like um
Yeah.
I can't remember,
I
but
can.
that's the only poem that I can actually think of that you know
Well, it's a
Yeah.
good poem. As I recall,
that's the
it's a
only part
very,
I can
very good
really
poem.
remember. I don't remember the whole thing. I just remember that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Chance likes to write poetry, but right now she's chasing cats. So,
That yeah, I write a lot of poetry. I mean, I've written a lot of stuff throughout time. I mean, it's just
or
so easy for me to be able to put words in the meaning.
yeah,
Um,
but that's
Yeah.
is that for your music?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's the same
Music.
thing. Every time you write lyrics, it's poetry. You're just making it fit to the art, the music. You know.
Mm.
Yeah. I write songs too.
Miko says he has a favorite poem on Deviant Art. Um, I think
Why
it
not?
counts.
If it's created, it's a poem. That's
Yeah,
what
I think it counts.
it's created. It doesn't have to be a famous person's poem because the only reason why it's famous is because the poem was so good that it stuck through time. Hey, Chan,
Exactly.
Hey,
how are you? Thank you for the comments.
you're welcome.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I
the
had to
cats
go. I
to the
had to go
comments?
take care of a cat that's not supposed to be outside right now.
Aha.
Oh, okay, okay. So he escaped from prison then.
Yeah, normally when they're not home, they close the garage and he stays in the garage.
Yeah.
But the garage is closed and he's outside. And I rang their doorbell twice and nobody answered. So I went to the neighbor between us, who's also friends with them, and he told me that they're on their way to San Antonio right now.
Oh,
So that man really shouldn't be outside.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're friends with the cat, so that he trusts you enough to let you lead him back inside or whatever.
Yeah, right now he's at the neighbor's house that does not own him.
Okay,
They were going to give him
That's a
some food and
spoff.
keep him inside
okay.
That's
until
a pile of
his owner
spoff.
get home. So,
That's a pile of spoff.
yeah.
Well, but it sounds like everything's going to be okay. It sounds like your neighborhood is really linked together.
At least
Yeah.
on this street.
Yeah, I mean, well,
At least on this street.
Yeah.
so many people don't even know what their neighbors look like, you know. So
Mhm.
I'm lucky.
What?
One of my neighbors is actually rents a mobile home from my father, so we know him pretty well. And the other neighbor is an old guy who's been here as long as the neighborhood's been here or whatever. His name is Chuck, and he's a really, really nice man or whatever. So those are really the only two neighbors we care about. So
Well, the problem with this cat getting out and no one watching him is he's very old and kind of crippled.
oh my
So
God,
he doesn't move very
Oh my
fast. So if
God.
he got in the street,
yeah,
he wouldn't be
yeah,
able to run from a car.
yeah. Well,
No.
I'm glad you picked him up or whatever, and
Hmm.
so. And it doesn't sound like he's used to being outside either. So
The thing is, he normally does not come as far as my house.
okay, so
He
he must
stops at
have.
the house next to me. So I think he
Okay.
heard me on the front porch because I'm in the hangout
Yeah.
and came this far.
Okay. So he heard a friendly voice and
Mhm.
went toward it or whatever. Well.
Because
Anyway.
when he's outside, I pet him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's been taken care of now. So and
yeah.
have you all had a chance to look at Miko's poem? He posted it in the group chat or whatever. It's a really
I
neat
have a
poem.
really hard time reading on this monitor. Everything this
Yeah, sort of.
It's just
Well.
a laptop, and I've always had 20-inch screens and everything. So when I look at the words, they're all like so tiny. It's so hard to read them, and it hurts my eyes. So
Voiceover won't read it when I'm in the hangout.
Okay. Well, since you guys have asked me, I'll recite it for you. How's that?
there we go.
Yeah.
That works.
Okay. I'll try to get into my Shakespearean voice here or whatever. Okay, I don't think the poem has a title, or I can't see the title, but anyway, it says, I wrap my chest so tightly, can't let anything show. Lower my head so slightly, can't let anyone know. Can't let anything show, how could you think it a phase? Lower my head so slightly, feeling stuck in a maze. How could you think it is a phase? I feel so alone, feeling stuck in a maze. This body is not my own. I feel so alone, I wrap my chest so tightly. This body is not my own. Lower my head so slightly. Isn't that a neat poem?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having one of my boy days right now, so I'm wearing a sports bra that kind of flattens the chest a little bit.
Okay.
So am I.
So,
I am
Miko,
as
Miko, is that your poem? Did you write that or?
Oh no, I can't write poetry at all.
Okay, so who's the author? Would it be someone that?
It's on DeviantArt. I kind of like closed out the tab, so I'm looking for it again.
Okay, but I mean that's a web page or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DeviantArt is a collection of art by just normal people. There
It
are
also has
some
poems.
there are some more famous people on there
Okay.
that have made like book covers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but it's mostly just normal people.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a poem about deviant art. I didn't realize it was a poem from deviant art.
Yeah.
Okay.
From
But anyway, it's a real neat poem. I'll have to check that out.
I
If
have
you
a
could,
DeviantArt page too.
okay. Is there a main link to deviant art?
Here.
It's just deviantart.com.
Just deviantart.com. It's pretty simple.
Okay. The people watching on YouTube can check it out then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
and
trying
I
to find the link
suspect
now.
that they do more than just poetry, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's all
art,
kinds of art.
Okay.
art,
They
poetry, stories.
They even do cosplay
Yes.
as part of it.
Good in my books.
I've seen a lot of that.
Sorry, we're comparing notebooks over here while we're talking to you. So she's showing me her notebook from high school with all the different junior high, all the different writings from all our different. I'm tired of saying authors. I refuse to say authors now because
I use the word insiders.
Does Jen write poetry?
who?
Jen, did I mess up her name?
Oh, Jen? No. It's just all.
I do sometimes, but it's been a while.
Oh, okay. I'm
So,
not
So
really.
Joey, you're living with Jem now?
Yeah, for when we're planning on moving in together. Oh, it's just a code you created.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. A switch is coming out.
Okay,
Okay.
who's coming out?
Jamie.
Okay, welcome, Jamie.
Hello?
Hey,
Hi,
Jamie. How's it going?
Not good.
Okay.
Allergies?
No depression.
Oh, I'm
Oh, that
sorry.
sucks.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Struggling because people don't accept our identity.
Yeah.
Well, that's who we had a new person that I brought into the group, Elaine, that I've been talking to on Facebook for I don't know the last I don't know how long, but she's an older woman and she's just found out about her DID and she's in this denial stage of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've been talking to her. Her therapist is talking to her. She says I sound exactly like her therapist, so she's always talking to me, and I'm always trying to give her as much time, to respond to her messages.
people
Feel better.
people are
The group that I did
people
Thursday night.
are not accepting
Together.
people are not accepting our neutrality.
Yeah. Anastasia was telling us that earlier. But getting back to Elaine, so she's newly diagnosed?
She's she's newly. She won't even accept it. Diagnosis yet.
Okay.
She's in denial right now. She can't believe this is happening. She doesn't understand anything. She's totally just. She can't accept it, and that's why I brought her to
which
the
is
group.
normal, right? Which is normal. I've heard other people talk about not wanting to believe it in the beginning or whatever. So
I still go into denial sometimes.
Yeah.
So do we.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's always that denial stage where you sit there and go, "This can't be real." It's when you're locked.
I get the thoughts that I'm faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all get that it's that inner feeling of, are we really thinking this? Are we creating this on our own? Like, are we imagining this and then making it a reality? And then you just you have to, like, everybody else wants to tell you, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're making this up in your head, and you're like, And that's what really makes it harder, because that's what everybody keeps on trying to tell you. You're making this up in your head, and you're like, okay, so why are there so many distinct differences between them?
You know,
Yeah.
that really burns me up that somebody could watch a video and based on one video, they know everything about your life, they know everything about your motivation, you
You're
know,
getting feedback somewhere.
okay,
It looks like Marvin's setting off Joey.
okay. Well, I'm going to make sure I'm plugged in and everything, so,
It looks like it stopped now.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just a
Yeah.
second glitch. That's fine.
yeah.
But we came to a conclusion. We figured out finally last night. After going through everything and being out here for just a week now. Really, what happened is 6-year-old Joey got hurt and was shut down.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
at 16, somehow when everything snapped, he got to wake back up and was alive for maybe. We have a lot of stories that we found from 16 years old that we remember. And the funny part is I am 16-year-old Joey and 6-year-old Joey. I got to wake up again. I've only been awake 3 periods, or we made it to 6. Then we lost from 6 to 16, and we were awake at 16. I was the Joey, and now I woke up at 36. I don't know why this happened. But that's what it is. That's why 6 and 16-year-old Joey were. I remember I told you that I seen 16 and 6-year-old Joey off to the side, but they were in that, like, it was almost like a pasture or something with the tree and everything, and they weren't a part of
Yeah.
the system. It's because they're not. They're me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually me. That's who I was at them 2 time periods, and now I'm awake again for the first time since 16 years old.
So would you say the 6-year-old and the 16-year-old are co-conscious?
No, they're the same person.
Oh, okay.
They got to wake up at a certain time period. Like when 6-year-old Joey was shut down, okay?
Okay.
All the other identities inside of us that we created were running the show. That's why we have no.
So 6-year-old Joey shut down at 6, and then he came back at 16.
Right, when everything snapped at 16, when rage snapped and broke everything.
Okay.
Back up, and we were living, but things just seemed to be too chaotic with everything that was going on. We wanted to be something that we wanted to be, but everybody was trying to control us. And we couldn't handle that, so we just listened to everybody else, and by doing that, we denied our own existence, and we got shut down for the next 20, 30 something years, living what everybody else was telling us what we should be doing. Never getting a chance to being able to figure it out for ourselves, So here we are now, awake finally after all these years. Can't believe we're stuck in a 38-year-old body. Well, 38-year-old body, but the last 2 years has just been trying to piece everything together, and then by actually
like me, Jamie. I'm 14.
Right.
Yeah, and like for us, me, Ollie, the host, I'm 17.
But Jerry, the host, is 26.
Yeah, like for us, I'm 17 and I'm the host of a 32-year-old body.
Right.
And I'm always 17. I don't age.
Right.
So it's like I feel 17 inside, and I act like a 17-year-old sometimes, but I have to present as an adult. Right.
And that's where we're at. We're literally, even though we're 38, stuck in a 38-year-old body, this is just only the oh, well, how do you put it? This is only the second time we've been awake in this world.
Yeah.
And when I say we, I don't mean all the alters or all the identities or whoever they are, that are in here. We know who they are. We love them. We respect them. They've helped us get through this whole entire life and still be here, to be able to live. But Yeah, I mean, basically the way I see all this is now after these 2 years of just being trapped and then finally saying screw it and doing what I wanted to do instead of everybody telling me what to do and controlling me. That made me realize who I finally was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am Joey. I was the original that was born, that was hurt at 6 years old, shut down, re-woke up at 16, got to live for just a speck of time. Just a speck of time. But enough memories to remember who I was back then, and, who
Yep.
I was wild. I had fun. I like to go out and just go everywhere and hang out with all kinds of people and just do things and, just live life. And everybody told me, you can't do that, And what do you mean I can't do that? What else am I supposed to do? What else is life, And they shut us down.
What is normal? What is normal?
All right, all that
It's
control.
a sitting on a washing machine.
All that control just shut us down again. It was like we were being.
Exactly.
If you look at it, at 6 years old when we were molested, we were trapped. We had no control over the situation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which caused that whole thing of not being in control to shut us down and create this array of identities to be able to escape any problem or anything, so we could always exist.
Yeah.
That's what I see where the damage comes in, how somebody can cause so much damage to somebody at a young age because the brain doesn't know how to, at 6 years old, you don't know nothing. You don't know anything. Remember, you have to be taught how to be fed. You have to be taught how to talk, to walk.
You have to
come into this world. You know nothing.
You're
stuff all. Impossible, incapable of doing anything but whine to let somebody know you feel uncomfortable or you need something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're taught everything. Everything we know in this world is taught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching Dr. King's daughter, Bernice King, who is a doctor in her own right or whatever, and she had two great traumas. She lost her dad when she was 5 years old, and she lost her uncle when she was 6 years old or whatever. So the two people that were her father figures, one her father, then the other one kind of stepped in to be her father figure. She lost two of them by the time she was 6 years old or whatever, and she is still dealing with that or whatever. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to fully deal with trauma.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'll always have some amount of trauma if you experience it.
Yeah.
Well, then there's my other factor. Like if I were to now I'm being able to step into other people's shoes and see like if I get to find out the history, I can almost identify with any kind of thing because imagine this girl growing up. She has to live with the fact that she knows her father was killed for being a man who was standing up for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that leave her? In total.
What time is it?
It's 3 o'clock on here.
Well, it's 9 o'clock your time, Anastasia. So is it time for your meds?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Go ahead and take your meds then. And
I'm still getting used to the time difference here. We're in. Yeah, I'm an hour back.
Yeah.
East Coast.
Oh dear.
So now you're in our time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're in the Midwest. We're on. What are we on now?
You're on Central Time.
Central Time.
I remember when I moved from Georgia to Texas, it seemed like it was more than an hour or whatever. I don't think it was.
Time is a perception anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just trying to figure out, I remember when this whole time we've been talking to Anastasia, it was always 5 hours difference from our time zone. So when she asked what time it was, I had to look at the clock, and I'm like 3 o'clock. So does that make that wait, 5 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. So what's the difference? I couldn't figure the math out of now what the time difference was.
Yeah, well, it's
So Joey, how did last night go with your anxiety? You said in a video you were going to go out with friends.
We're doing that today, right?
Yeah, we're going out tonight.
Yeah. We're doing
It's
that
tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight. We're
That's
going
tonight?
out.
Okay.
well, any
Good
butterflies
luck
about
with that.
tonight?
No,
Good luck
actually,
with that.
we can't wait. We've been waiting all week to go out. We've been going out little by little. Like, me and Jem went out a couple times, you know, like, I got this weird diet thing going on that my body does. We only eat every other day, one meal. That's it.
Bloody hell.
I don't understand it, but it just seems the way the body wants it. Like, there's no hunger pains. There's no like sluggish or like anything else. It's just the way the body wants the food. You know, it's like
Yeah,
it's
well,
not a necessity. You know what I mean? It's only a necessity when we have to eat, and we know when we have to eat.
yeah,
Other than
well,
that, it's just excess for no reason at all.
well, before, I mean, you were just basically in one or two rooms or whatever, so you really weren't exerting an awful lot, so you probably didn't need to eat an awful lot or whatever. But I understand you're doing some hiking now, right?
Oh yeah, we've been doing nature trails. We've been doing
So,
we did what, 2 nature trails, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because we went with
Luke and
Luke and then we went with Lindsay. Yeah, so we did 2
So,
nature trails already. We did
God, I take a lot of medication. This is ridiculous.
take your time there, Anastasia. Don't rush on our account or whatever. We're just hanging out here. Joy, I suspect your appetite may change now that you're actually getting out more and doing a little bit more. So,
well, that's it. The energy level's changing. Quitting smoking has been the biggest thing. You know, just going to this vape pen and quitting smoking. Like, we literally have not had a cigarette since we handed in that pack. As a matter of fact, no, I'm wrong. The first day we were doing the vape pen, we went outside with Jem, and one of her alters smokes regular menthol cigarettes. When she'll vape all the time, but her alter needs a cigarette. So we were sitting on the porch, and she was smoking a cigarette. I said, all right, let me grab a drag. And at first she was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I just want to see, you know. And I took it, and I, like, oh, man, my reaction to it, like, the body was, it won it. And I haven't touched a cigarette since been using this. And it's awesome.
yeah, I don't know much about vaping. I think my sister does that a little bit, but all you're getting is the nicotine, right?
That's it. It's flavored nicotine. That's
and it
it.
doesn't have to have nicotine in it.
Yeah.
It can be without nicotine.
Okay, but wouldn't your body crave nicotine?
Yes,
It's the same idea as quitting smoking. You can step down.
Okay, okay,
Step down. Like right now, I'm at a 6 milligram.
okay.
Regular.
2 packs a day, reds, hard red, you know. And I started off at 6 milligrams, and it's been perfectly fine for me to be at. Well, I knew I wanted to quit. That's the difference. I never liked smoking.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I never smoked.
And now
Other identities have smoke. You know what I mean?
and now that your stress level's down, you may not have as much desire to smoke.
Don't need it.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
And I mean, we smoked the shit out of this mother. I enjoy smoking. I do. It's cool as hell, but not a cigarette. I wouldn't want a cigarette. I enjoy smoking, but that, like, they have a hookah here, and I got to try smoking a hookah.
Mhm.
A hookah. That was awesome. You know, that was
Yeah.
nice.
Hookah is also a social activity too, though.
Yeah, and it seemed like you know, after we started to do it, that's what really broke it out. Is because they were so big on they enjoyed smoking here, but not cigarettes. So got the chance, and I realized there's other options to be able to smoke. Too much at once up there?
No, I coughed because my throat itched and it went all up my nose.
Oh.
Oh, it burned.
Oh.
Oh, it feels like I just got water up my nose.
Yeah, when I try to smoke my vape pen, it doesn't work as well because I can't do the 6 milligram. It makes me cough. But I need the 6 milligram to have the right amount of nicotine.
Right.
So it's not enough for me.
Right.
Remind me what
I have to do 3.
What kind of vape pen do you have?
The tank is an Atlantis 2.
Sorry?
The tank is an Atlantis 2.
Okay, I'll have to look that up actually. I'm gonna look it up.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was an $80 investment just for the box and the tip. And the reason why we agreed to it, I'm really glad everybody agreed to it because I wasn't, as much as I was awake, we'll say, I wasn't fully awake. There's been, throughout this whole week, it's been identity after identity after identity after identity after identity after identity, switching because it's all new.
Yeah.
And
we've been like that all week because of our depression.
Now,
but we did the math and we were like, okay, it's $80. That sounds like a lot, but in a week,
well, it's one carton
in cigarettes.
Yeah, I started to say it's 1 carton of cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we said.
A carton of cigarettes here is 50, and I spent 120 on my vape pen. But in the long run, once I get fully on it, it's so much cheaper because the fluid is only like $10 for the equivalent of a carton.
Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely. And the nice part is with a vape pen, you can just keep smoking it. It doesn't matter. You just, when you smoke a cigarette, like they try to tell you how to properly smoke it or whatever, but you figure it out on your own, because you're so used to smoking cigarettes. And when you smoke a cigarette, you literally, how many drags do you take off of a cigarette? Like you smoke the whole cigarette, so.
But you actually get more nicotine from the vape pen than you get from a cigarette.
Yeah, so that's why I go through these. This is like, I've only had this for a week, and how many times have I filled this up? 4 times?
Yeah. You go through like one thing of those a day.
Yeah, I go through one of these a day.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper than cigarettes, though.
Well, the nice part is, okay, they all vape here, and Alan is the other roommate who's living here, and he's the one who, like, I'm the second person he got to quit smoking this month or this whatever it was. He's all excited about, or just in a week, because he took me over and got the vape pen and all, and because I quit smoking, and he vapes, he has like all these different flavor juices that are all different bottles, so he gave me 2 bottles.
I'm just going down to get a drink.
Okay.
Okay.
He gave me 2 juice bottles, so I didn't have to buy anything, and I ordered one at the store. It's going to be $24.
Okay.
It's a green apple and pear mix that tastes so good.
Mom.
It's a higher blend made here in the state.
For my antihistamine.
Okay. Jessica is joining us via YouTube or whatever, and she has a really interesting question. Don't you eventually have to stop using the vape stuff because it has nicotine in it?
Yeah, but like Jem said, you can vape at 0 milligrams of nicotine.
Right.
So
what? They're talking about quitting smoking and stuff.
Right now. Well,
they're talking about Joey moving
to
his new house in Minnesota and stuff. And
we
talking about depression. Yeah.
But you can step down the nicotine.
Yes.
But you don't have to step down if you don't want to, though.
Right.
Yeah, some people use it as a way to quit smoking entirely. And some people use it just as an alternative.
Yeah, I think my sister's using it as an alternative or whatever because I don't think she wants to stop smoking. So, you know, but at least,
well, that's like in case you guys didn't hear, the nicotine helps with her tics.
Yeah, nicotine helps with what?
The nicotine helps with her Tourette's and her tics.
Okay, okay.
So it's actually beneficial to her because that's what the nicotine does. And as a matter of fact, okay, I walked in. I think
does Cassie need to go out?
It was
Do you need to let her out?
It was one day this week, but it was earlier in the week, and we were outside, smoking a cigarette. We came back in, and Jem was literally on the chair in it almost looked like a seizure, but it was a Tourette. It was a tic attack.
Episode.
And her body was just doing all kinds of crazy shit, and the roommate was here, Alan.
I didn't know Jem had Tourette's.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't know till I started looking at her channel and saw some of the Tourette update videos.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was like, I've never seen a tic out of Jem. But
no.
With the videos, I saw some of the tics.
Yeah.
But it also depends who's out too, because if it's okay, I've got to know. After all this time, me and her getting to know each other. We've got to know each other's identities, and some of our old ones that are more quiet. Okay. I've gotten to meet a lot of her identities that don't come out often. So.
Yeah.
And she's got to meet mine, so it's really cool, I would suggest, if your life is a chaos, just give up on it and go find a DM person with them.
Uh-oh.
Are you switching again?
Yeah.
Who's coming out?
Caitlin.
Caitlin?
Hey, Caitlin.
Welcome, Caitlin.
Hey.
Jessica has another question, and she says, so you really haven't stopped until you have stopped everything, right? And I would just add on to that, do you think vaping is an easier way to stop than just going cold turkey?
You can't do cold turkey. We tried to do cold turkey, and we were freaking, oh, man.
Switching to a vape pen is actually a little difficult, because the other ingredients in a cigarette are as addictive as the nicotine is.
Yep.
So you go through withdrawals trying to switch to a vape pen still.
No, actually, we didn't go through any withdrawals. That's the nice part.
See, we wouldn't know because we don't smoke, so...
Don't start.
Here's the difference. Okay, it was different switching, but to which identity was it difficult for? Here's something new we realized too. The last 2 nights we've been drinking beer. We don't drink, but we realized that we do drink. 16-year-old Joey used to drink all the time. He used to go out and party and drink, and I'm not talking plaster. I'm talking maybe 4 beers each night. That's it.
Flaming hell.
That would get
Spoffing hell.
That would get half the system drunk, but the rest of us were not. It was so weird. It was like whatever identity was there. She'll tell you. I was sitting here one night. I was like, I feel so good, and
you know what that sounds like?
Oh, this
Have
is
you ever
all.
heard of chimera? I think it's called a chimera, where there's 2 entities in one body or whatever.
Like 2 sets of DNA.
Yeah. That's kind of what it sounds like, or what?
I don't know, but one would be completely drunk and wasted, and the other ones were like completely awake and alert and conscious and everything else, like nothing else. That
We've had that.
That happens with us too. Actually, I I can't drink very much. The second that I start to get drunk at all, I switch back in, and someone else, usually me, will come out, and they'll have to, sit there and they'll continue drinking for us, and they're fine. But I can't handle my stuff. So they pull me in, they come out. I can't handle it.
I can't.
But the nice part is alcohol is me out,
Yeah.
And it only takes a couple beers, and I feel great, I feel all alive, like, ding,
Well, it would make sense if you technically still have the body of a 16-year-old.
Exactly.
That your tolerance would be less than some of the others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when I drink, I just feel even better, and then I feel like I'm actually, 16 again, and I don't have this old body.
Like me, I'm like 18, so,
Blue has joined us via YouTube, so welcome, Blue.
Oh, hey, Blue.
Welcome,
and just
Blue.
to let Jessica finish her thoughts, she says for her, cold turkey was hard, but it was better. And then she also says the hard part was, I guess, actually the sucking and blowing out sensation or whatever. Yeah. I guess that can be a habit or whatever.
Well, that's a huge part of the habit. You get so used to holding doing this all day long. The actual smoking is the half of the addiction. So
I remember I had a friend that when she quit smoking, she actually got straws from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And cut them to the length of a cigarette, and she would smoke the straw.
Yeah. Well, I knew a guy that he had switched over to Lifesavers, and for the sucking sensation or whatever, and he'd go through a pack of Lifesavers every day or whatever. But I mean, that's how he weaned himself off of smoking. So, but
when I was working at Walgreens, there was a woman that she came in every few days to get a pack of lozenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her one time, "Are you trying to quit?" And she said, "No, I've been on the lozenges for 5 years."
Oh.
So she just sucked the nicotine lozenges, and that was her new addiction because it was healthier than smoking because of all the other ingredients.
Right.
Well, it's a very, very tough addiction to break or whatever. I was lucky. Maybe I've shared this story.
Here's the way I look at it. Everything's called an addiction. I don't believe in that. I really don't believe in that. The addiction is, if you enjoy something and you're doing it because you enjoy it, they try to say you're addicted because it's bad for you, but if you really enjoy it, you don't give a shit if it's bad for you or not.
Exactly.
You enjoy it. So it's not an addiction.
It's like people who overeat.
It becomes an addiction when you want to quit and you can't. Then you realize that it's an addiction. Now you're stuck in an addicted state because you don't want to you don't want to do that anymore. And you want to be able to stop and do something different, and you can't because this is that you're addicted to it. So for us, the addiction was smoking packs of cigarettes. But we enjoyed smoking. We knew this. Like, the system enjoyed smoking. So we just replaced it with a healthier way of smoking. That's it. We don't have all the chemicals that are in cigarettes.
Yeah.
We have flavored nicotine.
Yeah.
And nicotine, it's another plant.
Well, I got up to, I was smoking a carton a week, about a pack and a half a day or whatever, and I was wanting more, so I realized I needed to stop, and I found me the biggest, blackest, ugliest cigars I could find or whatever, and just smoking one of them would make me sick or whatever. So that's how I was able to break myself. But if you enjoyed cigars, we
tried that, and that's what happened when we went to cigars. We would smoke a cigar like a cigarette.
Yeah.
It was perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, we used to go and get these. I forget what they were called. They were really good cigars. They were big. They began with a B. I don't remember what they were though. They were really high quality cigars. And we would sit there, and as a matter of fact, we used to play cards every Thursday night, Texas Hold'em tournaments, and we would sit there and just smoke cigars at the table and cigarettes. You know, we'd have a cigar going and smoking a cigar, and then because the games would go for like we would play maybe for about 3-4 hours every Thursday night. That's how long the tournaments would go. So we would smoke the cigar, and in the middle of smoking the cigar, smoke cigarettes too. So I was like, we're not getting really far here with this whole cigar thing. So we stopped smoking the cigars completely. Well,
plus cigars have more nicotine than cigarettes do. So if you smoke it like a cigarette,
we were smoking it like
chain smoke them, you're getting more.
We were taking inhales off a cigar like full puffs and just inhaling. I know a lot of people that smoke cigars that don't inhale. They just
puff it
and blow it out. You know what I mean? No, we sucked that cigar down. It was like. Feels normal. I don't know what it is. And I know everybody would say, oh, you don't really need that either. That's another way of no. I'm not addicted. We really like smoking, and this is the best way to do it right now for us.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's good that you got off the cigarettes because of the other chemicals.
And I can admit too that I'm starting to get a little bit of energy back. My exercise-induced asthma is starting to somewhat. It's not as bad. I've been able to go out and do things, and my body still maintain and hold. Like them nature trails we were taking were. Some of them, I was going down some steep hills and everything else, and I wasn't getting winded or nothing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we've been able to do a lot more. I just want to get your shoulders because.
Oh no! We're just falling off the bed.
Not again, anesthesia.
Yeah, again. For the first time tonight, actually.
I told you got to get them. Have somebody make them bed rails for you, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, I did mention it, but they've been working. I did mention it. Ridiculous.
Yeah. She must live on a busy street or whatever because she's got a fire station down the street, and that went off at the beginning of the Hangout, and now someone is having to change a tire in front of her house or whatever. So. I like living in the country.
Yeah.
I think I would like living in the city too, but right now I'm in the country, so I kind of like that or whatever. So.
The city life we love because that's what we were. It's where we were. Our home.
Hello, this is Gray.
We grew up on a city mentality. We were forced into it,
Yeah.
But
Gray.
Myself.
This is Gray.
Myself,
Gray.
As much as I love the city and I love the city life, because of all the action. There's always something. There's always something.
Yeah.
All the time. I'd rather much be in nature and in the country.
Well, Athens, Georgia, when school was in session, had about 75,000 people there or whatever, and so you were
cool.
You were a small city, but I mean, you were the country was like 4 or 5 miles away or whatever. So I mean, to me, it was the best of both worlds. Plus, Atlanta, Georgia, the big city, was only like an hour away. So if you wanted to go into a real big city, you could or whatever. But Athens, the college towns, I think they have a lot of stuff going on simply because they're college towns or whatever. So I'd like to retire to a college town. I would like to retire to maybe Bryan College Station or whatever. A little bit a little bit further from the coast.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, we're going through a lot today because we decided that we were last night. We decided, and I can't believe we just woke up and actually did it. We decided to stop the other thing we were doing that woke us up. You know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to say it on air, but we
Yeah,
decided
cool.
to stop.
Cool.
And, try to figure out now that we're awake and we are awake. We don't think we need it anymore. That's what helped us get to where we were, and we always wondered one day if there would be if that was just a temporary thing. Like it was we only needed that just to help us get to where we needed to be. And now that we're here, it's like, okay, well, we don't really feel the need anymore for that. It's like that helped us wake us up, but lately it's not been waking us up. It's just been getting us. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like we don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I think I've told this story before, but in Vietnam, drug addiction was very, very high. But when they came back, if they came back to a normal life, 9 times out of 10, the drug addiction would go away on its own or whatever. It's only those people that had bad environments, either a home situation or a, that they continue to do the drugs or whatever. So,
well, I won't. I'll still never classify it as a drug. Never.
Okay.
I still classify it as a medication, no matter what anybody says. But
yeah.
We're still comfortable with the fact that if we're out hanging out, maybe hanging out at the bar maybe one night, or a bunch of friends get together and we're with friends who smoke, we'll definitely smoke. There's not, because it's still so, it's what saved our lives, and nobody could say anything different about it, We don't understand why, but it did. So if we're hanging out, but the thing is, we don't want to be so invested into it that we have to spend every dollar on, always, smoking.
I need to send Anastasia another Hangout. Her phone died, so let me do that right fast. She has 2 names. Okay.
See, that's why I believe that the whole, the way everything's handled in this world as far as addictions and everything, I think they got it confused with everything. It's not an addiction. You need something to get you through something that you can't get through on your own. You know what I mean? It is a medication. And when you can finally realize and you realize that you're there and you want to get out of it, then you just
Welcome back.
It's great.
Okay, glad you're back in.
I think the whole addiction thing is, I don't even believe in that, like I said, the only thing it becomes addiction is when you want to stop and you can't. As long as you're doing it while you're doing it, then it's not an addiction because you want to do it. It's just something you want to do. But people see it as it's a general thing. It's bad, so it's automatically an addiction.
Okay.
Doing something I like and I want, and it's already out there. In other words, if it's already out there in the world and all, and they know it's so bad, why did they make it and then try to put you in? They make it and create it, and then you get on it and you like it, and then they turn around and say, "Oh, now you're addicted to it." What the hell is that? How could you get addicted to something that somebody?
Exactly.
I'm going to call it audible now. I think I'm going to cut off the YouTube live feed or whatever, and before I do that, Joy, is it my understanding that you're going to be doing Hangouts on Thursday nights now?
Yeah.
So would that be every other Thursday night, or?
No, we're going to go every Thursday night.
Every week, okay.
Depending. So, you got to understand, we're planning.
Okay.
But now that we're living,
Yeah, okay. Well,
there's a big difference now. That's why we can't do Friday nights anymore, because Friday nights we plan, we go out. We do things now,
There you go.
Out tonight.
Why have I got a video call from Jess? I'm gonna get kicked out of this hangout because I've got a video call from Jess.
I don't know.
But yet I'm still finding time, like today. I had just woken up, came downstairs, I went to check my phone, and I seen that your group was going on, and I had just woken up, and I was like, okay.
I've got a video call from Jess, so I don't know what to do.
Why don't you take it, and then if you need another invitation, I'll send you one. I'm going to stop the live broadcast. Anyway, so we've plugged Joy's Hangouts. It'll be most Thursday nights. You know, if something doesn't come up,
do I take it because I'm going to end up coming out of this call?
Yeah, I would take it, and then if you need another invitation, I'll send you another invitation. Okay. And then I'll be here every Saturday if something doesn't happen, and then we'll also have Jamie would be doing hers, I think, twice a month now, and I think Jessica is also doing hers once or twice a month. Mm-hmm. So and as I mentioned earlier,
Jessica, and I just talked to Jessica last night. Her new classes start up for the next 10 weeks.
Okay, so
she bogged down with all kinds of work for school and getting a career together and everything else.
Gosh.
That, hey, that's what I said, and that's what I'm doing with my life now too. You know, we're starting to live our life, so it's kind of hard. You know, you still want to be a part of everything that's here, but at the same time, you got to realize that, you know, okay, here's the deal. It's like anything in life. You make friendships and you do everything. So you try to give, you do this, you do that, and then yous have been friends for the last, I don't know how many months it's been now since this all grew. So now it's like, okay, I still have my friends here too, so I make sure that at least once a week or twice a week, even if I don't host something, I'll make it to one of your guys, you know? So we're always interconnected through the week. We're always communicating during the week because I don't want to lose connection with all my friends here.
Okay, and Google Plus is good for that or whatever. So at this point, I'm going to stop the live broadcast, having plugged different Hangouts or whatever, and we're going to go into an executive session now. And so I want to thank everybody on the YouTube for watching. Thank you very much.
Later.